Greetings all. Well, more bad news, I swear. The amount of diseases and pests, insects, and other sorts of pests that manage to make their way over here to the Hawaiian Islands are pretty outstanding, really. We have a new one again. I mean, it's the pest of the week, frankly. This time it is a virus on hibiscus on Oahu. Now, well, lots to say on that, but to begin with, it's been my observation that we have had some viruses in hibiscus over here on the Big Island for a long time. Not that it's nothing new here on this island. I collect unusual hibiscus cuttings and I bring them home and I grow them out and then trial them out in the fields. And well, I've noticed, to begin with, a lot of the really exotic looking hibiscus do have benign viruses that cause some of that look. And you can tell the difference when propagating, because a lot of hibiscus which don't have much virus in them, they propagate like crazy and grow like mad. The really, really fancy ones are actually loaded with one virus or another, what we would call a benign virus, and it can make them actually pretty hard to propagate. They're slow. They don't take as well. They just don't have the vigor because of it. These viruses don't make any pretty flowers or variegated leaves or any of the things the benign ones do. So, like I said, they've been here. It's just somebody just finally either noticed them on Oahu, or somebody brought cuttings from the Big Island over to Oahu and it spread. I don't know exactly how this happened, but as I say, it's the pest of the week, because we have constant importation of problems onto these islands. Now it'd be conspiracy theory. Yeah, it'd be conspiracy, but I'm going to spread it anyway. What the heck? I think that the U.S. government has their heads stuck on landmines, rockets, assault rifles, tanks, fighter jets, and so on. When they look at warfare, they really do look at the tools of warfare, and they look at, men with guns and bombs and things. I don't think they spend much time looking at agricultural terrorism. And I honestly believe that the U.S. has been experiencing agricultural terrorism for quite a few years now. California is a real breadbasket, fruit bowl, etc., etc. And I watched stuff coming in there nonstop the whole time I was there. Now a lot of stuff that's in California is showing up over here. And there are things that we're just a little bit too hard to get to the island. There, some of the coffee bean rust got here. The coffee bean borer, I guess somebody imported some coffee beans from somewhere that had a borer in it. That one wasn't too hard to do. But there's a lot of these things that we've got over here that are not the easiest thing in the world to bring onto an island and get started unless somebody was intentionally working at it. Man, if I was the guy with a bad haircut in North Korea, or if I was Putin and mad at the U.S., I'd want to destabilize their agriculture right at the bottom. You mess up the agriculture of any country like the United States of America, you have just about brought us to our knees, because no matter whether you think that like energy is what we do, or rockets are what we do, well, I'm sorry, we do all that stuff, but everything's still based on corn and soybeans, folks. Yeah, the bottom line of our entire economy is on the farm. That's where the Great Depression started. Yeah, we all know about the crash of '29 in the stock market, but years before the stock market crashed, the American farmer crashed and led into the Depression. And so it's a surefire way. If you want to bring down your enemy, you just start messing with their crops. And, I'm not going to bother rattling off a whole list of things I've seen here showing up lately, but it's constant. Yeah, it's constant that things that aren't that easy to get here are getting here anyway. And each time they come, they mess up. I mean, of course, it's coffee. Coffee was a major crop over here on the Big Island, and Hawaii was one of the few places on Earth where we could actually grow an organic crop of coffee without having to worry too much about insects. Well, now we got coffee bean borers, we got coffee rust, and none of this was here when I first bought my property here on this island in 2004. We grew coffee here for an awful long time before that started. Suspicious, highly suspicious. As far as the hibiscus viruses are concerned, it's probably not agricultural terrorism, but nevertheless, it's a real problem. The hibiscus is our state flower. We have native species of hibiscus here. I grow a few of them. They're nice too. Well, there you have it, folks. Don't go trafficking hibiscus around. Do not move the hibiscus around the islands. Don't move the hibiscus from island to island. And if you see any symptoms of the stuff in your plants, my advice is cut them down, get rid of them. That's about the only way you're going to stop the spread of a virus. We don't have vaccines for our plants, so it's like now your hibiscus has COVID, but you can't shoot it up with anything, so you don't need to worry about any of that stuff. You get a chainsaw and get rid of it. Make sure you clean the saw afterwards before you go to something else, because you'll transmit it. While pruning hibiscus, if a plant doesn't look right, be very careful, because you will move a virus with a pruning shear. Now, I know here on the Big Island, they don't prune hibiscus very much. I often wondered why the hibiscus in California always looks so much better than they do here. Well, it's because they freeze almost every winter, and so they get them cut back. So they're nice and compact, and they come out real pretty every spring. Here, they don't freeze, and so the plants just grow and grow and grow and grow, and they get big, rangy, leggy, not very pretty most of the time, really. I started pruning mine as if they were rose bushes. I do a good 2 or 3 heavy cuts every year on my hibiscus plants, and they look outstanding because of it. Nice and dense and green. But beware. If you do that and you have an infected one, you cut into it, you're going to move it to the next one. Alrighty. There you go. My conspiracy theory on agricultural terrorism, which I truly believe is actually going on. I mean, let's face it, I'm a genius. If I can think of this, somebody's been doing it for a long time already. I just don't understand why the U.S. government hasn't really, started to get a handle on what's happening. They're so focused on weaponry and armies and things that they're not seeing a biological war that seems to be happening right under our noses. Hang loose, folks. Yep. Take care of them hibiscus.